Hello, I'm Kevin Church, and this month for August 2022, our MUFIC Songwriter of the Month is Jefferson Coker. Hey, Jefferson.
What's happening, man?
Hey, buddy. It's great to see you.
Again and again and again.
It's been too long. So, for those of our viewers that don't know you, we'll just ask everybody if they come from a musical family. Like, where do they get their start in music?
I came from a somewhat no musical family. A lot of my dad's relatives played. My mom did play piano, but I never really heard her play it my entire life. I was shown some chords by a grandmother, and that was pretty much it. And then around the time Hurricane Hugo hit, my next door neighbor showed me a couple more chords, and then I discovered, honestly, that, I might be able to do something with this. I don't know. I just enjoyed playing music. There wasn't so much anything that was pushed on me. You know, it was an outlet for me.
Right.
Like sitting in the hospital, I could hold a guitar in bed.
Speaking of hospital now, you said you spent a lot of time in the hospital when you were growing up.
Yeah.
You basically grew up in the hospital.
I did. I grew up staring out of a hospital window watching all of my friends walk away as they come and visit.
Wow.
So it gave me a lot of time to think.
Right.
It gave me a lot of different perspectives on the world and how things work and how people are treated, and empathy and apathy. And you've known me long enough to know that.
That is true. We've known each other 13, going on 14 years, if not already. So it's awesome. So I wanted people to hear that you did grow up there and that you did get your perspectives, and a lot of internalization happened for you as you grew up, is what it sounds like.
I think it was just different views of the world. You know, when you're in a hospital room and every second week you have a new roommate, and they're always from someone here, from someone there. So you see different aspects, different cultures. And then, of course, my dad being in the military, moved all over the place, and being on a military base, you're not just in a neighborhood full of white people or full of black people or full of Asians. It's a huge mix of everything. So things like racism didn't even exist in my family.
Right.
Bigotry, any of that stuff. Dealing with what I dealt with, I was never told, and which I did see a lot of other parents tell her, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't do that." Okay. My folks are just, put on your football helmet so your coaches don't see your stitches, kind of thing.
Right.
So I was allowed to do whatever I wanted. My life expectancy was only to be about 20 years old.
Wow.
And then they said 45. So technically, I'm 2.5 years old.
Wow. Born again, are we?
Born again.
So let's go fast forward. You did all that growing. That's how you grew up. So now learning the instrument, that's become your outlet. Was that your first outlet for creative?
Drums were my first.
Okay.
I, again, back and forth in the hospital, next to the place where my mom worked was a music store. So the first thing I always gravitated to was drums. It was loud. And then I actually took drum lessons. But it was too big, too bulky, too loud.
Oh, yeah.
And then the first guitar that I was bought was from Fingerhut magazine. It was called the Rock Axe. And it was a Strat style, had a little speaker in it, but I could sit in my room and jam out to Smoke on the Water for hours.
Okay. All right.
And that was kind of the beginning of it. And then, of course, acoustic after acoustic after acoustic to better quality instruments.
Right.
And I don't know. It's like every time you pick up a new guitar, you just want to play it until you don't want to play it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
And then you kind of get bored and you get a little stale. And then you want to, for some reason, picking up a new guitar, all of a sudden it's like, wow, I want to play guitar again.
Oh, yeah.
And then it wasn't until around 19 or so that somebody said, "Hey, man, you can actually sing." I was like, "No, I can't sing. I didn't want to be in front of, I liked to be in the back.
Right.
No one could see me.
Right.
And then I was kind of just pushed. You're the singer. And I remember the first band I was in, we knew one song, and it was Can't You See? And we played it over and over and over until the drummer literally fell off his drum set. Yeah, it was.
That's awesome.
Yeah, might have been alcohol involved, though. I don't know.
In between stopping, or you just kept playing?
Just over and over. Like
someone fed him like while he was playing drums?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, all right. So all this has happened. You've been pushed to the forefront to be the singer that you never thought you would be.
Never wanted to be.
Never wanted to be.
Never wanted it to be the Jefferson Coker Band. Never wanted it to be the Jefferson Coker Project. Never wanted it to be any of that. I just liked writing.
Okay.
And the fact that I could take some of the stuff that I'd written for years and years and put music to it, just excited me.
Right.
It gave it a different. That way, I could play it back to myself and like, oh, that's crap. What was I thinking? I mean, if I had a nickel for every bad song I've written, I'd be a bazillionaire. Unfortunately, I get a nickel for every good song, and I've only made $10. So.
That's not true. I made more than that.
10.05.
Sales are going up right now as people are watching. They're checking you out. So, all right. So you're what, like 19, singing, playing, bringing your songs to the forefront to the band now,
we're just playing? No, it was covers. I didn't start really doing my music until probably my mid-20s. I started really writing and kind of putting it out there and playing some open mics. Mm-hmm. And it really wasn't until I moved to Seattle.
Okay.
And the girl I was dating was like, you know, you're really good. I signed you up for this open mic, which, no offense to everybody, but I hate open mics. I think they're a good tool. I think they're great for up-and-coming musicians. I think they're wonderful for a community. It's just... I mean, you've known me long enough. It's not that I don't like people. I love people. It's just I don't feel comfortable in big groups.
Right.
And I'm more comfortable up on stage out of the group or away from the group looking in.
Sure.
So I lost my train of thought. What was the question?
Oh, just wondering when you brought your songs to the forefront.
Right. So I started doing some open mics in Seattle. And then when I came back, another local musician friend was like, hey, man, you know, you're just come up and, you know, see me play and I'll put you up for a few songs. And that's kind of how it all started.
Okay.
And then by the time we had met, I had already kind of gotten established in the local scene.
Yeah.
And predominantly playing covers.
Right.
The top 100, whatever, you know. Whatever, anyone that had money in their hand and they wanted to hear a song, I would either fake it or I'd play it the best I could.
Sure.
And I remember,
still do that, I think.
I remember a gig one time with a certain gentleman where we had just got done talking about never playing Sweet Home Alabama again. And not even 2 seconds after we said that, someone walked up with how much money?
It was $200.
Right. And immediately...
I hit it. I hit it. It was funny.
So money does talk sometimes, especially when you're a starving, struggling musician trying to get your stuff out there.
It was so funny. I'll never forget that. I mean, we looked at each other like, you said, I'm never playing that again. And somebody walked up with $200 bills to get his girls that were with him to dance. Well, and he handed them to us and said, Sweet Home Alabama. And I went, Jefferson was laughing. He was right there with me, like, ready to sing it.
But I believe that gentleman also, about 15 minutes later, came up and gave us another $100 just to put up with his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's right.
See, that's what we have to deal with as musicians. So as far as playing my music, I just started recording it. I went to a friend's house to record this demo over in Somerville. And we recorded like a 7-song kind of demo. Every once in a while you'd hear a truck in the background go by, like real soft. And it never, I mean, I put it out there. And actually what happened was I was at a Grateful Dead concert And I walked around the parking lot for a few hours and just put free copies of this in people's windshields. And I got a call. Hey, would you like to play this little festival we have going on up in North Carolina called Fisher Creek Reunion? I was like, sure. And so we started playing that, and the band just started getting bigger and bigger, and we started getting more notoriety as an original band. Things started happening. And then, like everything else in the music business, stuff goes to your head, and people start doing this, and, you know, I was just as guilty of it as everybody else. And it took a lot of humbling, but the whole band blew up. We lost everything. Any deals that might have been on the table, anything that was, any kind of tours that were scheduled. And like I said, I take responsibility for that just as much as anyone else in the band. And then since then, we've unfortunately lost Ricky.
Golly, yeah.
And he was one of the best bass players, guitar players.
He was really talented.
Was just a super nice guy. He'd give you the shirt off his back. Honest as honest could be.
Yeah.
You know. So then trying to replace someone like that it's almost impossible.
Right.
And even to go back and play that music is almost kind of like, I don't know if it's respectful or disrespectful to him, but
right.
I've tried to tell people, here's what he did. I don't expect you to do what he did.
Right, sure.
You know, but this will give you kind of a baseline because the guy was just amazing. So putting the music out there, we've had some success. You know, we had some strange success in Europe with the album, which I still, from those 2 albums, I still get a check every 3 or 4 months from CD Baby from online sales. You
awesome.
know, and this is the time where you used to tell everyone, don't buy from Apple Music. They don't give us any money. Go to Bandcamp or somewhere else like that. If you really support the artist.
Yeah, if you're going to buy it.
If you really love music. See, this is why you shouldn't have me on here. If you really love music, every club in town needs to start charging a cover. Everyone's going to be like, what? Yes, the music will get better. Start charging a cover. Stop paying the bands. Let them make the money off the cover. They'll start actually promoting themselves again. The clubs have to start promoting themselves again. No club in Charleston, really, I ever see anyone where the club's promoting. Y'all are paying all this money. Why not promote it? You promote your wings. All that stuff. And this is one of the reasons why people, oh man, Jefferson's got such a personality. I do. I'm proud of it. And I'm tired of keeping it down, man.
Well, you know, you're one of them irritable 2-year-olds.
I am. I'm like the flu. I keep coming back. I don't mind. If it helps out one person, if anything that I've dealt with and sometimes complain about or praise helps out one new musician, if it takes down one obstacle that they don't have to deal with, that's even better. I never understood, and I know you've heard me say this a million times, why people think it's such a competition.
Yeah.
Art is subjective. Some people, my own father hated half of my songs. But he's like, every once in a while we go, that one's all right. You know? But then someone down the street could say those same songs moved them so much that they quit doing drugs, or they, you know, decided to, you know, pick themselves out of the gutter, or whatever it was. That was, everything means something different to everybody.
Right.
Bob Dylan said it best. Once I put it out there, it doesn't belong to me anymore.
Right.
It doesn't matter what I think. And that's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you love the music. And it means so much to me that I can do it. And I think that gets lost on people because I don't know how to talk to people when people come up and say, man, you were so good tonight, or whatever. And I feel like saying thank you isn't enough.
Right.
But going overboard makes you seem kind of creepy. So where's that line?
That is the fine line of creepiness, yeah, going over.
You know, and I love being a songwriter, and I love putting it out there, but sometimes I've written 1 million songs, and that's not even, I mean, I know you write all the time. I have a mountain of songs.
Mm-hmm.
I have a molehill of songs that I consider good. But sometimes that song was written just to get it out of you.
Sure.
Just to get that angst or that last bit of love that you needed to give to somebody, or you just needed to tell someone to, wait, this is on YouTube. Off. So, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you just go,
And you get it out and you move on.
Right.
Then you let it go.
It's just like, sometimes you just got to put on a backpack and take a walk.
Which is what you're going to be doing very soon.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah?
Yeah. So I've got 2 more gigs. I had actually canceled all my gigs. And as soon as I canceled a whole bunch of gigs because I just didn't want to play, people started calling to book. I was like, well, why, you know what? Why not? So I did, but I only booked at places where I knew that they wouldn't care if I played all my originals if I wanted.
Sure. That's a big difference, man. It's a lot of fun when you have those shows.
Man. And
so different.
So I have 2 more places. I'm playing at Down the Road Pub. And of course, this will air after all these gigs, so it really doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm taking off into the mountains and I'm going to do what I do. And that's just turn off Facebook, turn off the phone, turn off everything, take my little travel guitar with me and write. And sometimes I think, and you know this as well as I do, sometimes you write and a song could be one word. Tequila. That's proof of it.
Right.
And be a hit.
Yep.
And sometimes it can be a long story like Hurricane by Bob Dylan, where it's 1,000,000 verses and it tells a story.
Sure.
Sometimes it has a chorus. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it really sucks. If I can give any new songwriter or up-and-coming singer-songwriter advice is be proud of your music. But don't take it personally when people don't like it.
Right.
I love some songs that I wrote that I know are horrible. They're just not well constructed. But for what they were for me, they were amazing. And that's what I needed at the time. But for someone else, they're like, oh my God, this is just it. There's no structure. The theory's all wrong. And
yeah.
Well, tell that to Frank Zappa. And by no means am I comparing myself to Frank Zappa. He was an amazing person. I'm just me.
Right.
But yeah, there are no rules.
No.
Except the rules that man. I'm such a weirdo.
Well,
what else you got on your list here?
Well, that list is pretty much covered, I think. The whole idea.
Did I ever write a song that changed my destiny? Yes.
Sounds like you did.
And we're going to sing it.
And other people.
Here in a little bit.
So tell us about that song.
So I wrote a song about 3 days after my father passed away in 2015. And I was able to get through it in my head for years. You actually played it with me one time before, I think. And,
yes, I did.
I think at that time I still was unable to get through it without breaking down emotionally. It's only one verse. But it says what needs to be said. There's no real metaphors, nothing that needs to be explained.
Right.
It's not something that someone's really going to take out of context and think, oh, no, he meant this, or he meant this. It's about death, and it's about losing someone that you thought you were going to have a few more years with. And all of a sudden, because of something that was totally unexpected, just they're gone. And you can't even say goodbye.
Right.
Like with my grandmother, I was there. I was able to tell her how much I loved her and how much she meant, and that we were going to miss her. With this song, it was just, I was living in Raleigh and I got a phone call, and
okay,
and I had a roommate, and I dropped the phone and fell over, and that was it. But yeah, so that song is called "Don't Leave Now." And it will be available on Pandora and Spotify and everywhere you can buy music.
Very good. Very good. Way to plug. Love it. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to playing on it again.
Yes.
We're going to have a good time. And we're going to hope you don't get too choked up because it's a really good song, man. I remember playing
think I got it now.
Okay, I remember playing it with you. It's a very emotional tune, so
Yeah.
It's always good, man.
Yeah, man.
Jefferson Coker, everybody.
So we're going to play a song called Don't Leave Now. And, yeah, so Don't Leave Now. Don't leave now, it's way too soon. I was just getting to know who you are. I'll say goodbye, I'll see you next time. Safe on your journey, I know it's far. So many things left unsaid. Can you hear me from where you are? I don't know, it's a long way to start. I don't know, it's a long way to start. Don't leave now, it's way too soon. I was just getting to know who you are. Say goodbye, I'll see you next time. Safe on your journey, Lord, I know it's far. So many things left unsaid. Can you hear me from where you are? I don't know, it's a long way to the start. I don't know, it's a long way to the start. So Is anything left unsaid? Can you hear me from where you are? I don't know. It's a long way to the stars.
MUFIC sets you free.